Hello, hello, hello. We're back again with another queen. We've had king and we've had queens. So we've got the real queen here, as you know, who I call the real queen. And from the title, you should have seen who it is our only queen, or should I say not our only queen, because we have so many queens, but our real queen, Queen Anastasia Macdonald, is going to be interviewed right now. So she is also one of the certified HMT trainer. So now she can start an HMT training in UK where she lives, or anywhere else in the world that she chooses. So guys, if you don't know or you haven't joined us before, this is an interview with HMT certified trainers. We had an HMT train the trainer from Tuesday until yesterday, Saturday, the 29th of July. And we've just completed or concluded that. And now the people that are still here, I'm interviewing them and asking them to share their experience with you. Because I thought it would be a good idea for you to also have a first-hand information and knowledge of what the actual graduates went through, their experience, their understanding, and how they're feeling, how they're going to move this forward. So before I turn the camera, I just want to say hello to a few people that I can see and thank them for joining us. I know some of you have been joining us for the past few interviews that we've had, and I really appreciate that. I know that everyone else also that I'm interviewing also appreciates it. So Theophilus, thank you for joining. Rem, good evening or good afternoon, should I say. Richard, Bishop Richard, do excuse me. Hello, thank you for joining. Charles Smith, thank you for joining again. Pastor Chris, good afternoon, thank you for joining. So I'm going to turn the camera now, but before I do so, guys, please, I'm going to ask you to share this. We have been on 3 times, or this is our 4th time today, on and off, and some people will be wondering what's going on. Am I getting the right notification? Is this a fluke? It wasn't a scheduled program. This is for you to experience and gain first-hand information from the HMT trainers, newly certified trainers that just completed their training just now, well, in the last 24 hours. So here's their experience. They're giving you a first-hand information. Hello, Michael. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to turn the camera now, but please, before I do so, can you all share so that more people can join and they will have the confidence that this is not a fluke. It is true that there is a live program going on and other people are joining in, so they will be more encouraged to join as well. And also, don't just share, why don't you invite other people as well so that they can join you in this new live interview that we're doing. And we have our very own Queen Anastasia Macdonald right here. Uche Chukwu, hello. Pastor Uche, thank you very much for joining. Ngozi, thank you so much. You've already shared. Thank you for that. Only Ngozi and one other person have shared. So guys, please do the honors and share this. You would understand why I'm saying that once you start watching this. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn the camera now to Queen Anastasia Macdonald to share our experience of HMT Train the Trainer. Thank you. Here we go.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, kings and queens. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for me to share my experience with this Train the Trainer. This last 5 days, where do I start? I can only start from the first time that I came to Ukraine for my first HMT, which was in January. Now, when I came for the first HMT, obviously I didn't know what I was expecting, but you know, by the time I finished the first one, it was totally revolutionary. You know, my mind was just blown away. My mind was expanded through the teaching, through the intensity. I know it was like boot camp, you know, the assignments, the books we had to read, the environment. You know, DSC has told us that environment is very, very important, very important. So being in that environment with intensive learning to be disciplined, learning to have to forsake your sleep, learning to do assignments, within a short amount of time, learning to read one book, less than, let's say, 5 hours, and to present that book the following day. All that environment, just, it really brought out a lot out of me. I began to look at myself in a different way. I began to see myself doing things that I'd never done before. So that was HMT, the first one when I went home. January this year, and 2017. And I went home and I started doing projects that I'd never done before. I started looking at my life differently. I started looking at time differently. I started valuing time. I started, basically understanding that time is valuable and learning to maximize my time. Basically, I just came away differently and I just could not get enough. So I have been to Ukraine. This is the 4th time. So I've been to 2 HMTs. And obviously, this Train the Trainer is my first experience. So you may be wondering, okay, I've been to two HMTs, so why did I come for the Train the Trainer? What's the whole idea? Is it just because you just want to be around Dr. Sunday Delaja? Well, I like to say, yes, obviously I do love coming to Ukraine and I do love being around Dr. Sunday Delaja, but the training was something that I had already been thinking about, that, oh, wouldn't this be a wonderful experience, to be able to do HMT myself. Now that in itself is a massive breakthrough, because if you know my story, where I have come from, and I don't know whether any one of you out there have known my story, but I have done a my life story series on Facebook. If you go to YouTube and type in Anastasia Macdonald and look for the My Life Story series, you will really appreciate where I'm coming from. Let's say, if I can put it, coming from 0 to on my way to hero. So somebody that could not talk, somebody who was messed up in the mind, because of my background, because I literally grew up without my dad. So I grew up in a foster home. I was born in the United Kingdom, and from a very, very, very tender age, I was sent to a white foster mother. So my mind started messing up from a very early age, even before I was born. If you go to my to My Life Story series, so basically my parents wanted to abort me. So all this, I came from the womb with a spirit of rejection already. And then the whole experience of not loving myself, not liking myself, low self-esteem, poor self-image. You think of all the warped mindset of being, if I can put it, orphan mind. So if you can understand where I'm coming from, and then for me to put myself in the place that I want to be a trainer. Dr. Sunday Delaja has done a lot, and I discovered Dr. Sunday Delaja just last year, August. So I'm just about to hit 1 year anniversary, just 1 year anniversary. And in all the 30 years of being a Christian, cannot be compared to just this almost 1 year of being in the environment of Dr. Sunday Delaja. I mean, I'm doing stuff that I've never dreamed about. I think at the moment, I'm managing, I think, about 5 projects on Facebook alone. So I have My Daddy Called For Real with Anastasia Macdonald. I have Awakening Arts by Anastasia Macdonald. I have Spotting Daddy God's Presence. There's a new one. I haven't even posted, advertised it. I'm just doing it behind the scenes. It's there. So Spotting Daddy God's Presence every day. And I've got Stately and Flourishing, the 50+ Woman, which I'm about to launch. So all this has come from being with Dr. Sunday Delaja. All this has come from attending 2 HMTs. And I thought, you know what? I began to dream, even before I knew it was going to be announced, I began to dream that, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be lovely? Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing to take the place of the trainer and to transport this environment into the UK where I live, put myself in the trainer and begin to train other people. So when I heard the news, I was elated. I said, yes, yes. And so I registered quickly, and I was here with my husband, and I came for the training. So I'm guessing you want me to talk about, what's the train about? OMG. Oh my goodness. The HMT1 and the HMT2, brilliant. But this one takes another twist. It takes another turn. So now you are being trained to train others. And the environment is just beautiful. It is inspirational. It is impactful. It is obviously, once again, intensive. Now you are taking on the mindset of a global transformer. Did you hear that? A global. Now, I'm asking, even as I'm talking to you right now, I mean, where would I begin to think of myself as a global transformer or global change agent? It would never cross my mind. Now, remember my background. Remember where I'm coming from. Now, I'm being elevated to having the mindset of a global transformer. So to think like one, to think globally. And obviously, yes, to think globally doesn't mean I'm changing the whole world per se. I'm changing a nation, a group, a tribe, to think, to take on the attitudes, the behavior, the principles, the laws, the mindset of Daddy God, my daddy. So what is Train to Train about? It's about raising up, teaching people to take on the mindset of kingdom-minded people who would talk like Daddy God, walk like Daddy God, think like Daddy God, behave like Daddy God, where their whole day is infused with the mindset and the principles of God. This is in a nutshell, so being infused with the kingdom principles, being infused with the kingdom atmosphere, you being infused with everything pertaining to the kingdom, that when you walk out of here, you know exactly who you are. You are not confused anymore. You're not confused. You don't have a shadow of a doubt. You know exactly who you are, what you're about, and what your kingdom assignment is in a particular sphere of life. And one of the things that I loved so much were the live presentations that we had to do. So we had to stand in front of the class and do live presentations as trainers, and I really, really value those presentations, because it is one thing maybe to read about it, is another thing maybe to watch a video, but it's another thing, it's another level to really present it, so that you are hearing, you're seeing, you're feeling, you're watching the atmosphere. Number one, you the trainer need to be able to create their environment, to create it as such that everyone is engaged of a history maker. It's all about history making. It's all about impacting the kingdom, impacting our world, whatever your sphere of calling. So that was really lovely. And also having to meet with fellow history makers as well from different countries. So there was somebody from South Africa, somebody from America, some all over the world, somebody from Finland, all those different nationalities coming together as one. And it almost, I was thinking about it, I think yesterday, and I was thinking, Daddy God, you're really, really interesting. You are sneakalicious. That's one of my terms.
I like that.
You, Daddy God, you're sneakalicious. You've chosen people of all around the world, and you brought us together as one. One is your Daddy God is always about unity, so that's all part of it, unity and learning, the kingdom principles. I just want to stop here and appreciate Pastor Derek, and Pastor Philip Isaac. He embodies history makers. He embodies, obviously the vision came from Dr. Sandy Adelaja. He took it when it was launched and he's run with it, but he embodies it so that, the teaching was lovely. All the time you're thinking, okay, how can I go and impact my world? How can I go take this to my sphere of world? He just lives, breathes, and I'm so grateful that I am alive today to be a partaker of a history maker, and not only that, I feel like, let me be real, because I love being real. Let me tell you something. You know what? Yesterday I was thinking, I said, okay, I've graduated. But you know what? My childhood has been filled with pain when it comes to my education. It's been filled with a lot of pain. Like I was with Dr. Sandy, I think it was last week, and when we were doing the Kingdom Foods, and we were reviewing the book, what was it called again? The Innovative and Creative Power of a Genius. And I shared with you my experience of how I've been labeled from my childhood of being, average, not having this, not having that. So I grew up believing that I was not a genius. I thought that geniuses were everybody else. And everybody else had the degrees. Not that, I've been educated, but, not in the way that perhaps the world presents it. But guess what? That's why I said, Daddy God, he is sneakalicious. Did you hear me? He is sneakalicious. He bypassed all this, and he's put me in the best educational environment. No PhD, no master. I'm not disputing master's degree programs or PhD or any form of higher learning. But to me, there is no education that can be more important or put on a high pedestal than to be trained in the kingdom of God, to be trained in righteousness. To me, because when we get to heaven, that is God not going to be looking at your master's degree. And now, with all this, I'm not disrespecting anybody who has any qualification. I've got qualifications, but nothing transcends than being educated in the kingdom of God, being schooled in righteousness, being chosen. Now, Daddy God, he chooses the things that people who do not qualify. He chooses the foolish things of this world to confound the mighty, And I don't have a master's degree. I don't have a PhD, but I do know that I have a PhD in history makers. And to me, that kind of like it exchanged all the pain that I went through, my educational system, all the labeling that you're Anastasia, you are average, you are this, you are that. Because guess what? He chose me. So as I was saying, Daddy God chose me of all the peoples of the world to say that, this child that has been labeled as nothing, as, whoever, I want her because I'm going to make a statement to the world. I'm going to make a statement. She is the one who's going to carry, the glory. So, I feel deeply honored that, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that Daddy God will pick me and connect me with Dr. Sandy Adelaja. Now, I have heard, if I may say, I've heard comments that, Anastasia, I like what you're talking about, but can you please tone down about DSA? I'm sorry, not. I am so sorry, not. I'm sorry, I'm not going to tone down, because when you are watching your football and you're raving about footballers, when you're raving, you're making a loud noise. Nobody's telling you to shut it down. So why should I shut down for somebody, that God is using, Daddy God? And, we're not saying 1 year that Daddy God is using to transform my life. Why should I shut down? No, I'm not. I'm going to shout louder. You take it or leave it, because it's all about my Daddy G. I'm not making any apologies. We are supposed to be a light, and the light means to shout. And I'm going to shout, and nobody can shut me down. I'm going to testify and continue to testify what Daddy God has been doing and continues to do through Dr. Sandy Adelaja. Now, it could have been a different person. But, in God's infinite wisdom, he chose Dr. Sandy Adelaja to be the one that will begin to bring out all all the riches in the world that are in me. And so the History Makers training is amazing. I want to encourage all of you out there to come and take this course, because you are taking through a very systematic system. Very systematic. It's not intimidating. It may seem intimidating, but everything is laid out step by step by step. You are going to learn what it means to have a system in life. Now, you know what it's like when you don't have systems. Maybe you may have an idea, but you may don't have the systems to carry it out. So they do teach this in HMT1 and HMT2, but they teach it even more. Everything is systemized, so you can't get it wrong. And I just want to applaud Dr. Sunday Delaja and Pastor Derek. The amount of work that has gone through it is just simply amazing. It is just simply amazing. And as much as, you know, I'm going out there to be a vessel, to train other people, I am learning so much. I'm learning so much to be more diligent, to understand my values more. In fact, when I go home, you know, before I came on air, I was thinking, you know, when I go home, I'm going to go through my planner again. I'm going to go through my value system again. I'm going to evaluate every single thing of my life again, so that I'm like somebody that's playing the dart game, bullseye. So I hit it right there in the center, and I'm there with Daddy God. So it's just been amazing. I do not regret coming one, but there's an HMT coming November. I can't wait for that one.
Wow. Oh my God, guys, this is Queen Anastasia, the real queen here. She's just telling us her own account of HMT Train the Trainer, and you know her story. I mean, I can't hear enough of Queen Anastasia's story. You know, she's on YouTube, so please check her out. YouTube is your friend. She's also here on Facebook, Anastasia Macdonald, so request a friendship. But on YouTube, you'll find her videos, her life stories. I mean, I can't wait for the movies. That's what I've been telling her, that I need a movie about your life story, because, you know, you're already liberating people, but this will save more lives. So I'm waiting for it. And if there's any film producer out there, get in touch with her, because I really think that this is movie worthy. And, you know, today, her account of HMT, she started with a story of when she started coming here. First of all, it's only been just next month will be a year that she discovered Dr. Sunday's teaching and Dr. Sunday. And you know, one thing I love about Queen Anastasia is that she's an upstarter. She doesn't waste time at all. She sees an opportunity. She sees an opportunity and sees it immediately. And you know, whoever is there saying that she should tone something down, I don't even know why people are like that, where they say tone this down, stop mentioning this person. Let her be. You be too, and let her be. Let her live her own truth and her own life the way she wants to. If she wants to mention Dr. Sunday's name, let it be. And you know what? She gave such a compelling reason, even for those of you. If you love football, she gave the football reason. You go on and on about your favorite football players. So why can't she mention her best mentor, Dr. Sunday Adelaja? We all do. It's human nature. If somebody does something good for you and change your life or help to improve something in your life and you don't, that is number one, ungrateful. And secondly, it just shows that you're not human. Being human is being able to express love, gratitude to other people. And she's not doing that by just mentioning Dr. Sunday's name and thanking him, but she's also duplicating Dr. Sunday. So guys, I think you should be taking a leaf out of Queen Anastasia's story and life and what she does, and doing the same thing. So let me move on to, she discovered Dr. Sunday in August. In January, she was already here. She was already here in Kyiv, Ukraine. This is a fourth visit here. Third or fourth? Fourth visit. Can you see? And we're only end of July. So in January, she came for HMT. Her life changed. She became her life transformed altogether. And then she was back in April for another HMT. you know, and then May she was back for Dr. Sunday's Golden Jubilee, and here she is again. Now she's graduated as an HMT trainer herself. She's been empowered in 1 year. This is not a young lady, it's not a young woman. This is somebody that is over 50 years of age, and look at what she's doing with her life in just 1 year. So when she's talking, please, I think that we should all sit down, relax, and listen. Not start saying this is what she should do or this is what she shouldn't do. This is somebody with knowledge, with experience in every area of life, and she's not somebody that you should be telling what to do. It's somebody you should be listening to. Pretty much, I learned that pretty quickly with Dr. Sunday. I'm always trying to say, why this, why that? You know, you learn from the best, and these people are the best because they've had these experiences. So the wise thing to do is to learn from them. So please, whoever is there, I don't know your heart. I think that you come from a good place, but please learn from her rather than telling her what to do. You know, she knows, she got it. And let me just go on to some of the things that she mentioned about HMT training. Just the first HMT was intense. That taught her principle, taught her how to do presentation, how to read a book in a day, in hours, how to read a book. So all those principles, all those muscles that she learned from the first HMT, when she went back home, her life changed entirely. Then she talked about the different how she's now living her life in a different way. Her life has changed. Talked on the on her mindset, and she's now developed a mindset of a global transformer. Can you believe that? Not even just a transformer, a global transformer. So for me, that is just intriguing. I'm going to watch this again, and I'm going to stay close to her as well, so that I can also become a global transformer. But I am becoming that because I'm finding so much changes in myself just for living in this house with Dr. Sunday alone, his family, not just Dr. Sunday, everyone in this house. But Dr. Sunday epitomized to me. I mean, this is the reason why I came here, but his story, his life, his daily living is just phenomenal to me, and you know, that's why I'm here, and I'm really grateful, and I thank God for the opportunity to be here. And you know, Queen Anastasia is also mentioning that and saying in just 1 year, it will be 1 year in August, this is how her life has changed, and you haven't even seen anything yet. This is just the beginning, because I also know what she's got in her to some degree. Maybe I know 5%, but it is phenomenal. So you really need to get close to her and look at her and learn from her rather than saying anything. Enough of that from me. And then she talked about being infused with kingdom principle. I mean, her words alone, her vocabulary, being infused with kingdom principle. That's what she learned from HMT. That's what she learned from HMT trainer, and now being kingdom minded. And that infusion is not just for you to be in the church or be in the four walls of the church. It's for you to work until your sphere, your purpose, what you're supposed to do on this earth. I'm really grateful for this interview. I appreciate her, and I appreciate everything that she said, what she's going to take home when she goes home, her planning, her strategy, you know, what she's going to do with her new experience, what she's going to do in terms of restructuring herself, restructuring what to do. I really can't wait. So thank you guys for joining us. We're back at 7 Ukraine time, 7 p.m. Ukraine time, and then again for the program, we're doing book review today. Please don't miss the book review. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be intrigued, and also you'll be learning something. Book review are educational sessions, so join us at 7 p.m. and of course Dr. Sunday will continue his teaching on truth. So please join us again. I appreciate you for your time. I'll be back tomorrow with more interviews, so please join me then. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry I can't read your comments because I have to go now, but I will surely read them, and I'll try my best to reply if I can. But you can also write to me on my page, Mayowa Olaya, if there's something pressing that you want to share with me or you want me to know. So thank you again. And Queen Anastasia, the real queen, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for this interview. Take care, guys. See you at 7 p.m. Ukraine time. That's 5 p.m. UK and Nigeria time. Take care. Bye.